by the immense grace of our Gurunatha, His Holiness Maharanyam Shri Shri Muralidhara Swamiji, by the Parama Kripa of Madhuri Sakhi Sameda, Premikavarada Thakurji, by the grace of Ponnu Guruvayurappan, we are really fortunate to learn Bhagavatam. This is our Thursday evening class, and we have been doing for 10 years. And now we finished bhagavata-māhātmyaṁ last week. The 6 chapters of Mahatmyam we studied, and now we are going to start Saptama Skanda. This class also we have started Bhagavatam from 1.1 and we have come to 4th canto. That is our Sunday class. In this Thursday class we did Dashama Skanda from 10.1 to 10.54 Rukmini Vivaha, and we have completed that 2 rounds. And so now after finishing 2 rounds, we were thinking what we should study next. Then someone suggested bhagavata-māhātmyaṁ. So we finished 6 chapters of bhagavata-māhātmyaṁ. Then we thought, okay, now what should we study? So we thought something, after 4th canto, we'll go to 5th canto. So we'll go step by step in that class. Here, let us come to the avatars of Bhagavan quickly. So we finished Varaha Avatara. The next highlight Avatara is Narasimha Avatara, right? So we thought let us study by Gurunatha's grace story of Prahlada and Narasimha Avatara of Bhagavan. And by Gurunatha's grace, we begin today's class with 7.1. There are 15 chapters in 7th canto. So we are going to see in Bhagavad-Māhātmyaṁ we saw how Bhakti Devi was very weak in the beginning, but after going to Vrindavana she attained Pushti, she became nourished. But her sons Jnana and Vairagya, they were still very weak. Now these are all the Shakti or energy of Bhagavan. So they take physical embodiment. So if we say Bhakti means it's an embodied Bhakti. A Bhakti has a form of a beautiful lady, Bhakti Devi. And so she has 2 sons, Jnana and Vairagya are embodied as her sons. So Bhakti combined with Jnana and Vairagya is Bhagavan. That is the Bhakti. Bhakti is not doing Bhakti like offering milk or offering garland. That is sadhana Bhakti. But the Bhakti which has Jnana and Vairagya mixed is the real Bhakti. That is called Bhakti, and one has attained maturity when there is Jnana, Vairagya together in the Bhakti. So initially in the first chapter we saw Bhakti Devi is okay after going to Vrindavana where there is Bhakti flourishes there. But Jnana, Vairagya have become old and unconscious and weak. And then what is the remedy to bring them back and make them healthy again? Narada Muni tried all ways. He whispered Bhagavad-gita into their ear. He whispered Veda mantra. Nothing worked. Then after getting the blessing of Sanat Kumaras, they conducted a Bhagavata Saptaha. And after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Jnana and Vairagya awakened and they became young and fresh once again. So that Bhakti Devi with Jnana Vairagya, she is asking Sanaka Rishi, where is the place for me to stay? Oh Rishi, by your grace, I have attained, full, I am flourishing and feeling, fresh and invigorated again. Where should I stay? Then our Sanaka Rishi say, your abode is in the heart of all the Vaishnavas. All the Vaishnavas, Bhakti Devi resides in their heart. So that Bhakti, Bhagavatam bestows. The Bhakti which is combined with Jnana and Vairagya. We need all these 3 together to flourish so that we grow in Bhakti together with jnana vairagya. Otherwise, bhakti alone will become very fanatic type of bhakti where it will not be able to handle adversity. That when there is adverse situation, that bhakti will tumble down and gone without jnana and vairagya. So we need all three. And Srimad-Bhagavatam blesses with all three. So we progress steadily, like a fruit will ripen at the correct time, step by step, it will, ripen. Like that, we will progress in bhakti correctly and attain Bhagavan. So we saw the greatness of Srimad-Bhagavatam in all these beautiful chapters. And then it says, some of the shloka, durlabhaiva katha loke, Srimad-Bhagavadodbhava, koti janma samuttena, punyenaiva tu labhyate. Koti janma samuttena punye. After having so much anugraha and after having so much punya done in many births only, one gets Srimad-Bhagavatam. It is not so easy for everyone, even though it is available readily. Only when Lord is calling us and when Guru's kripa is there, we come and study Bhagavatam. Then this Bhagavatam will remove all our sins. It will remove all the dukkha caused by various threefold miseries. It will remove, it will bestow auspiciousness, prosperity and welfare in this world and the next world. Like that, dukkha daridra daurbhagya papa prakshalanaya cha kama krodha jayatavi kalau dharmo yamiritaha. So this in the Kali Yuga, Srimad Bhagavatam is the dharma to attain moksha. This even to anyatha vaishnavi maya devairapi sudustyaja kathaṁ tyaja bhavetum bihi saptahota prakirtitaha. Otherwise, this Vaishnavi Maya is so powerful, it's not easy to win over this Maya. So in order to cross this ocean of samsara and win over Maya, we need Srimad Bhagavatam. So this Bhagavatam, it is the Vāṅmayi Rūpam, it is the word form of Bhagavan. So this Bhagavatam we are so blessed, so we are going to study 7th canto. So in the first canto, we are seeing Parikshit is going to ask question, how come the Lord seems to be partial towards the Devas? How come he is always, killing Asuras, but he seems to favor the Devas? Is the God partial? What is the reason? Like this, Parikshit is asking question one day. As sage Shuka is narrating Bhagavatam, Parikshit is asking the question. So that is the first chapter. Let us begin. Saptama Skanda, Prathama Adhyaya. Saptama Skanda, Prathama Adhyaya, śrī-rājovāca. samaḥ suhṛd brahman, bhūtānāṁ bhagavan svayam, indrasyārthe kathaṁ daityān, avadhīd viṣamo yathā, niḥśreyasātmanaḥ sura-gaṇaiḥ, sākṣān niḥśreyasātmanaḥ, naivāsurebhyo vidveṣo, no dvekascha gunasya hi. Rājovāca, samaḥ suhṛd brahman, bhūtānāṁ bhagavan svayam, indrasyārthe kathaṁ daityān, avadhīd viṣamo yathā, niḥśreyasātmanaḥ sura-gaṇaiḥ, sākṣān niḥśreyasātmanaḥ, naivāsurebhyo vidveṣo, no dvekascha gunasya hi. Iti na sumahā-bhāga, nārāyaṇa-guṇān prati, samśayah sumahā jātah, tadbhavān shetum arhati. Shri Shuka uvaca, sadhu prishtam mahāraja, hariṣ-charitam adbhutam, yad bhagavata-māhātmyaṁ, bhagavad-bhakti-vardhanam. That is the beautiful slokas. Again, Rājovaca, samaḥ suhṛd brahman, bhūtānāṁ bhagavan svayam, indrasyārthe kathaṁ daityān, avadhīd viṣamo yathā, niḥśreyasātmanaḥ sura-gaṇaiḥ, sākṣān niḥśreyasātmanaḥ naivāsurebhyo vidveṣo nodvegascha gunasya hi bhagavata uruvummanat bhavarogatikkare maruvummanat uruvayurappani uruvummanat devaloga karpagatarvummanat. So Bhagavan, Guru, Bhagavatam, Sevi. So we worship in Namadwar, see all three in the altar. So that Bhagavatam is like that. It feels dine dine navam navam. It feels, gives more ruchi. The Lord is friendly and loving to all. He is the same to everyone. He is the dear one for all. Samah priya suhṛd brahman. He is our friend. He is our beloved. Bhūtānāṁ Bhagavan svayam. And he is not partial to anyone, right? So, how come indrasyārthe kathaṁ daityān avadhīd viṣamo yathā? How come he is always favoring Indra? If you see, Indra will be always, we saw in the churning of the ocean, right? In the Amrita Mathana episode, the Devas are weak, Asuras are taken away the heavens. So again, Bhagavan told the Devas and Asuras to churn the Amrita. Then after the Amrita is collected, Bhagavan distributed everything to Devas, did not give Asuras. So, and then when Asuras like Aghasura or Shishupala or Dantavaktra, all these Asuras, Bhagavan will kill them. Whereas the Devas, Bhagavan is always seems to favor them. So why is Bhagavan partial to Devas? This is the question Parikshit is asking. Why is Bhagavan killing Asuras and why is he always favoring Indra and Devas? niḥśreyasātmanaḥ sura-gaṇaiḥ sākṣān niḥśreyasātmanaḥ naivāsurebhyo vidveṣo nodvegascha gunasya hi. Bhagavan should not be acting like, I like this or I don't like this. That is raga dvesha. That people like you and I will have. I hate this or I like this. This person is not good. This person is my favorite. Like that, called raga dvesha. Those opposite things, hatred and aversion or attraction. All these things, a Bhagavan who has blissful nature, always in a state of bliss and happiness, how can he have favoritism? Is he afraid of Asura? No. Does he need favors from Devas? No. Going to next level and asking about the nature of Bhagavan. So we also get there slowly as we keep, doing more and more spiritual sadhana. We start, trying to understand more. What is Bhagavan's nature? Why does he do this in this way? Why did he do that way? Like that, we start thinking. Like that, Parikshit is asking, how come Indra is always helped by Bhagavan? How come the Asuras are always killed by Bhagavan? Itina sumahā-bhāga nārāyaṇa-guṇān prati samśayah sumahā-jātah tarbhavān shetumarhati. Itina sumahā-bhāga nārāyaṇa-guṇān prati samśayah sumahā-jātah tarbhavān shetumarhati. Śrī-Shukauvaca sadhu prishtam mahāraja hareshcharitam adbhudam yad bhagavata-māhātmyaṁ bhagavad-bhakti-vardhanam. Sadhu prishtam mahāraja hareshcharitam adbhudam yad bhagavata-māhātmyaṁ bhagavad-bhakti-vardhanam. A doubt has crept in my mind about this, about the Lord's Narayana's action and his will. So please clear this doubt for me. So Shuka says, I'm very pleased with your question. Sadhu prishtam mahāraja hareshcharitam adbhudam. This give me chance to sing more about Sri Hari. So I shall do that. Yad bhagavata-māhātmyaṁ. Not only Sri Hari, we are going to sing about the gunas and of his bhaktas. So let's start. Bhagavad-bhakti-vardhanam. I I'm going to bow down to my Appa say, Rishi sage Vedavyasa says Shuka, Giyate paramam punyam Rishibihi naradadibihi Atva Krishnaya munaye Katayishye hare kathaṁ Giyate paramam punyam Rishibihi naradadibihi Giyate paramam punyam Rishibihi naradadibihi Tatva Krishnaya munaye Katayishye hare kathaṁ Nirgunopi hyajo vyakto Bhagavan prakriti paraha sva-māyā-guṇam bādhya-bādhakatāṁ gadaha Nirgunopi hyajo vyakto Bhagavan prakriti paraha sva-māyā-guṇam bādhya-bādhakatāṁ gadaha. Sage Shuka is telling, I bow down to Vedavyasa, who wrote the Srimad Bhagavata, and then I begin narrating you Sri Hari's glories and also the glory of his devotees like Narada, like Prahlada, like other great devotees. By hearing this, we are going to get more and more devotion. By hearing Hari Katha, one gets more bhakti and it has the power to enhance bhakti. Therefore, I shall narrate you the Katha of Sri Hari, Hare's Charitam Adbhutam. Giyate paramam punyam Rishibihi naradadibihi Natva Krishnaya munaye Katayishye hare kathaṁ Nirgunopi hyajo avyakto. Bhagavan is Nirguna. He is avyakta. We are not able to understand the nature of Bhagavan. His nature is Sat Chit Ananda. But taking the Yogamaya, the Shakti called Yogamaya, Bhagavan, using the Shakti, he manifests as many, even though he is only one. Bhagavan prakriti paraha nirgunopi hyajo avyakto Bhagavan prakriti paraha sva-māyā-guṇam bādhya-bādhakatāṁ gataha. So here is where all the doubt for all people start, including sage Markandeya. He says, I want to have a darshan of your Maya. And how about, Parikshit is now having doubt. Like that, everybody gets doubt about the Maya power of Bhagavan. So, like that, Dhruva, he went to the forest to do tapas. First he was angry that, his stepmother stopped him from sitting in the lap of his father. So with his ego was hurt, and so he went to do tapas. And then after having darshan of Narada, having got the mantra from him, Dhruva started doing tapas, and then 5 months he's doing tapas, intense tapas. Then Bhagavan appears. When Bhagavan appeared, he suddenly forgot everything why he started tapas in the first place. He's singing beautiful stotra to Bhagavan. Said, you are that Bhagavan who is enlivening my senses, and you are the one making me speak, and you are the great supreme being who, using his Maya Shakti, is creating this universe. Who is talking all this? Dhruva, who went to the forest to do tapas to get Rajyam. So suddenly after Bhagavan's darshan, the jnana is kindled in him. And then he is the one who is saying, Yasmin viruddha gadayo hyanisham patanti vidyadayo vividashaktaya anupupyat yad brahma vishnu. Then on the viruddha shakti, then tad brahma vishva bhavamegam anandamadhyam anandamatram avikaramaham prapadye. So Viruddha Shakti exists in Bhagavan. Contradictory powers, Yoga Maya, when Bhagavan will use. One Maya will separate Bahiranga Shakti. It will unite. Both exist in Bhagavan. So Dhruva understood that, and so he is telling, Viruddha Shakti exists in you. Yasmin viruddha gadayo hyanisham patanti vidyadayo vividashaktaya anupurvyat tad brahma vishva bhavamegam anandamadhyam. So Bhagavan is the one creating, but Bhagavan also, when the time comes, he will destroy. Bhagavan is the redeemer, he will free us all, but Bhagavan is the one who bound us in the first place. So these are all called the contradictory powers. They exist in Bhagavan. So at sometimes this causes confusion, and people like Parikshit asked this, or Dhruva also understood this Bhagavan. I went to do tapas to get Rajyam, but then when he gets darshan, this jnana is awakened, and then it becomes more, mature, that bhakti, and so he is asking, how come this contrary power exists in you? Then why did you do creation? If you're going to destroy, then why do you create? Why do you put people into sorrow? If you're going to give ananda, you only give blessing and bliss to everyone, and then you only give sorrow. You only fix everything, but you only mess up everything. How does it work? So that is the nature of Bhagavan. That is what here also it's going to tell. So that is what here nirgunopi hyajo avyakto bhagavan prakriti parah sva-māyā-guṇam bādhya-bādhakatāṁ gadah sattvam rajastamaidi prakriteernātmano guṇāh na tesham yugavat rajan hrasa ullasa eva sattvam rajastamaidi prakriteernātmano guṇāh na tesham yugavat rajan hrasa ullasa eva jaya-kāle tu sattvasya devarshīn rajaso asuraन् tamaso yacca-rachamsi tat-kāla-nuguṇo bhajati. Jaya-kāle tu sattvasya devarshīn rajaso asuraन् tamaso yacca-rachamsi tat-kāla-nuguṇo bhajati. Sattva, Raja, Tamo guna are there. So we all have three gunas. Sattva is the guna of goodness. Rajas is the guna of passion and action and all those. We are getting agitated and ambition, all those rajoguna. And then tamo guna is the guna of disruption, laziness, and when a good thing is going well, you don't like it, you disrupt. One disrupts that. That's called tamo guna. So all these gunas exist in all of us. That is the maya. When we are bound by the maya, so these gunas exist in us, but not Bhagavan. Bhagavan uses maya to do the srishti. However, he remains separate from it. But whereas you and I, we are bound by the maya. So we are assuming the body is me, and based on our gunas, we act in this world and get caught by our own action. But Bhagavan, he remains separate. However, he does the work for the sake of us. However, he doesn't get attached by it because he is controlling the maya, whereas we are controlled by maya. So, na sattvam rajastamaiti prakriteernātmano guṇāh na tesham yugavat rajan prasta ullasai bhava. So, the sattvic mode and the tamasic mode, they will be in different times, different guna will flourish. So when Bhagavan has decided this is the time for the devas, so now the devas will be in the high, in the peak, and everything will be smooth and time will be favoring devas. After some time, Bhagavan will say, I need to give a chance to the asuras. So then he will say, let asuras reign, let asuras become supreme. So then there will be a time when asuras will seem to have their way in everything, and so evil will take over, and then the good people will get weak. So that is also Bhagavan's will, and all this is the play of time. So at one time the supreme will be devas, at another time supreme will be asuras, because Bhagavan is so kind, he wants to give a chance to the evil people. So he is giving chance to Kali. That is why he is doing full akramana, the Kali Yuga, because Bhagavan let him give him a chance. Then finally Bhagavan will fix everything. It is all a play for him. It is leela for him. So that is why natesham yugavat rajan rasa ullasaiva jaya-kāle tu sattvasya devarshīn rajaso asuraन् tamaso yacca-rachamsi tat-kāla-nuguṇo bhajati. When he decides to keep devas, then sattva will be high. Then when he decides to Rajoguna is dominant, then people like Ravana and all will be favored. Then when tamas is dominant, the yakshas and the rakshasas will be dominant. This is the age of tamas. So depending on that, Bhagavan will decide who is to have the peak at this time. That's all done by the time concept of Bhagavan. So jaya-kāle tu sattvasya devarshin rajaso asuran tamaso yacchara-chamsi tat-kāla-anu-guṇo bhajate jyotirādiriva bhāti sangatana vivicyate vidantyātmanam-ātmastam mathitvā kavayo-antatah jyotirādiriva bhāti sangatana vivicyate विन्दत्यात्मानमात्मस्थं मथित्वा कवयोऽन्ततः यदासि सृक्षुः पुर आत्मनः परो रजसृजत्येष पृथक् स्वमायया सत्त्वं विचित्रासु रीरं सुरीश्वरः शैष्यमाणः तमैरयत्यसौ यदासि सृक्षुः पुर आत्मनः परो रजसृजत्येष पृथक् स्वमायया सत्त्वं विचित्रासु रीरं सुरीश्वरः शैष्यमाणः तमैरयत्यसौ. Stories, and then here and there it will give Siddhantam, the tattvas. This is called bhakti with jnana. That is called jnana. We need to hear. We need to hear. Otherwise, bhakti will not have good foundation, and therefore it won't last. So, what is the jnana here? It says, Jyotirādiriva bhāti sangatana vivicyate. See, Bhagavan is the Supreme Purusha. You're taking the Maya Shakti, which Maya as multiplicity. One person became multiplied into thousands and thousands and thousands. So, and then it has different gunas, different size of bodies, different type. So, different type of jivas are created. The different type of animals. Each animal's nature is different. Then different human beings are created. Devas are sattvic, asuras are rajasic, manusha we are mixture of both. Then rakshasas are tamasic. Like this, all kind of things exist in creation. So what we see is a reflection of that Bhagavan. Just like the sun is shining in the sky. If that sun is reflected in a water on the ground, like there is a pond, and if the pond the sun is reflected, so you are seeing, oh, there is sun, but the sun reflection will be depending on the water. If the water is shaky, the reflection of the sun will look shaky. If the water is green and muddy, the sun will look muddy, right? That's the reflection. It's not the real one. It's a reflection. The reflection of the real. The real is over there. Like that, Maya, Bhagavan is over there. And Srishti, what we see is a reflection of that Bhagavan. However, we see it through the Maya mirror. Like the water, reflection of the sun we see in the water. Depending on the water, it is shaky or green or brown, like that. Depending on the size of the Agni, it will have different shape based on the wood you are putting. Based on the fuel, the Agni will have big Agni or small Agni. Like that, it changes. The reflection is what we are seeing. You and I do not have the jnana to understand the spirit that Bhagavan is separate, pure, and not tainted by any of this. He is ever pure and auspicious, separate from all this. Yet he assumes through his Maya, he comes into all of us. He enters into all the jivas. And what we see is his reflection. And so we identify, so that Atma is present in me, so I'm speaking right now. It is present in you and you are hearing and chanting Sloka right now. That Bhagavan only is there in all of us. However, is reflected based on the outer body that we have now, right? So that is the difference. It's the same Bhagavan inside, but he is reflected through this sharira. It is covering. The sharira is used to show that Bhagavan in the sharirathila, in the gunas. These gunas I have right now and in this body. So that same Atma is reflected in this body. Like that for you. Like that, however, the jnanis, the people who have attained jnana, they are able to separate the Bhagavan aspect in all of us. And so they see only Bhagavan in us, whereas we see all the imperfections in each of us. Whereas the Mahans, they see the good and try to extract the good and make us more and more good and then extract the essence from us. Adu only they can do. So not the ignorant people do not have that discrimination, that intellect to understand the difference, because we are all mixed up. Whereas Bhagavan and Jnanis, they never get attached to the body, yet they function in the body. So that is what it's explaining. Sattvam vichitra suryam surishwarah shaishyamanaha tamayirayatyaso yadasi srikshuhu paratmana pura atmana paro rajasrajatyesh pratak sva-māyā sattvam vichitra suryam surishwarah. Bhagavan decides to be very sattvic, the world will be preserved and everything will be working in a more conducive manner. When Bhagavan decides to have the rajasic mode, the creation will start. When Bhagavan decides to have tamasic mode and wants to sleep and rest, then he will take off all the creation, destroy everything, and Bhagavan will also go to sleep. All this is all activity of Bhagavan. So sattvam yadasi srikshuhu puratmana paro rajasrajatyesh pratak sva-māyā sattvam vichitra suriram surishwarah shaishyamanaha tamayirayatyaso kalam charandam sujati sākṣān pradana kumbhyam naradeva satyakride yesha rajannapi kālaishita sattvam suranikami vaidayatyatāh. Kalam is very powerful. Kalam charantam sujati sākṣān pradana kumbhyam naradeva satyakride yesha rajannapi kālaishita sattvam suranikami vaidayatyatāh. तत्प्रत्यनीकान् असुरान् सुरप्रियो रजस्तमस्कान् प्रमिणोत्युरुश्रवः. Work with using the Kala Tattva. Angadan
Prakriti Purusha.
Dirvyaparopi Nishkaranam Ajabhajasam, and Bhagavan with his Maya Shakti, he puts a glance and then Maya Shakti awakens, time awakens. When Bhagavan goes to sleep, as we get up in the morning and somehow we get up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. how somehow we get up like that, time awakens Bhagavan. Bhagavan has been resting for so long, then time awakens. So using the Kala Shakti only, everything is working. When many times we say time sharila, right? Time sharila. We are all affected by time. The time is a very important factor. When the Pandavas went to Bhishmacharya, right, in the last moments, and Bhishmacharya is saying, how come you Pandavas who have always done dharma, who have Dharmaraja, the Yudhishthira as the elder brother who is always dharmic. Arjuna, he wields the Gandiva bow, is so skilled warrior. Bhima has so much strength, and all these Krishnas themselves, they're relative and helping them, and they are always respectful to Brahmanas, holy men, and always doing dharma. And for them to suffer so much, how is it possible? Na sarvam kala kritam manye cholra. So Bhishmacharya is saying, even I cannot believe how come the Pandavas suffered so much. It must be because of the time. So the time is very powerful for all of us. The answer is here. When Bhagavan wishes to promote sattva, then all good things will flourish. When Bhagavan has purposely decided, let this Kali also get a chance. Therefore, evil will flourish and good has to work hard, extra hard to overcome Kali. So the good people have to step up now because the bad is having easy way now. The bad, the opposite forces, they seem to have their way easily. Whereas the good people have to put more effort in this time. That is this time. That is the will of Bhagavan. And that is, time is like that. So, kalam charantam sujati shashrayam pradana kumya naradeva satyagrade yeshan rajannapi kalayishita sattvam sudani vaidayatyatāh. When Bhagavan wishes to help the devas, when it is in a sattvic state, then time is favorable to devas, and so Bhagavan will help them. And then asuras will be killed. But we also study in Bhagavatam when Mahabali is in the ascendant and he is going to rule for a number of years. And the devas, gurus, he says, if a time is not good for you, you all go into hiding. So he sends the devas. So like this we see up and down in Bhagavatam. That is how it will be. We say, I am a good person, always everything good should happen to me. No, it's not so. Because we are all bound by time. We are all bound by karma. We are all bound by God's plan for us. So it will be different. So that is why tat pratyanikana suran surapriyo rajastamaskan praminotirushtravaha. So it will be the time when asuras are killed and devas are saved. Then now he says, I shall narrate to you a story which will prove to you that Bhagavan is not partial. Atraivodahita purvam itihasa surashina priyaḥ mahakratau rajan prichati ajada shatrave. Yudhishthira ajada shatrava. Yudhishthira has no enemies, not even in mind. That Yudhishthira also asked the question. See, all bhaktas come to stage where we try to understand Guru Ayyappan. Why you are doing like this? I didn't do anything wrong, yet you seem to give me so many problems. Bhattadri also in Nārāyaṇam said, Kashtate srishti cheshta bahudara bhava khedavaha jiva bhaja ityevam purvamalo chidamachitamaya naiva madhya abhijani. Like this Bhattadri also asked, right? All devotees come to this stage, they also ask, why bad is happening? How can I cannot bear it? Why? Time. That's all. You have to be patient. To be patient. So, atraivodavida purvam itihasa surashina priyaḥ mahakratau rajan prichade ajada shatrave drishta mahadbhudam raja rajasuye mahakratau vasudeve bhagavadi sayujyam chedi bhubujaha tatrasinam sura-ṛṣim raja pandu sudakratau papracha vismitamana muninam śrīnvatāmidam. Tatrasinam sura-ṛṣim raja pandu sudakratau papracha vismitamana muninam śrīnvatāmidam. Telling, there is also another question like this. It was given by Yudhishthira to Narada, and I shall narrate you what happened at that time, says Shuka. And then now we go to that scene where Yudhishthira, the Pandavas are all in the forest, and Narada Muni comes and sometimes gives satsang to them. So they ask Ishanukatha, they ask katha, and so Narada narrates. So at one time Yudhishthira is asking, Dishta mahadbhudam raja rajasuye mahakratau vasudeve bhagavadi sayujyam chedi bhubujaha. The king of Chedi, Shishupala, and when Yudhishthira was performing Rajasuya Yaga, Shishupala was abusing Bhagavan and saying so many bad things. Bhagavan had promised his that he will not kill for 100 abuses, he will forgive. And after he passed 100, Bhagavan released the chakra and killed Shishupala in that Rajasuya Yaga when all are present. When after killing him, a divine Jyoti light emerged from Shishupala and entered into Krishna. And all are stunned. This Shishupala, who has only had hatred all his life to Bhagavan and abused him in every chance he got, how come he attained Bhagavan? Tatrasinam surarishim Raja Pandusudakatao Papracha Vismitamana Muninam Shanvatamidam. So, in the question, Yudhishthira also asked, and then what Choli Shuka is narrating. What did Yudhishthira ask? Yadbudam hetu Chetate Durlavai Kantinamapi Vasudeve Pare प्राप्तिश्चैद्यस्य विद्विषः एतद्वेदितुमिच्छामः सर्व एव वयं मुनि भगवन्निन्दया वेनो द्विजैः तमसि पातितः एतद्वेदितुमिच्छामः सर्व एव वयं मुनि भगवन्निन्दया वेनो द्विजैः तमसि पातितः दमघोषसुतः पाप आरभ्य कलभाषणात् सम्प्रत्यमर्षि गोविन्दे दन्दवक्त्रश्च दुर्मदिः अहो अत्यद्भुतं ह्येतद् दुर्लभैकान्तिनामपि वासुदेवे परे तत्त्वे प्राप्तिश्चैद्यस्य विद्विषः एतद्वेदितुमिच्छामः सर्व एव वयं मुनि भगवन्निन्दया वेनो द्विजैः तमसि पातितः दमघोषसुतः पाप आरभ्य कलभाषणात् सम्प्रत्यमर्षि गोविन्दे दन्दवक्त्रश्च दुर्मतिः शिशुपाला वासुदेवे परे तत्त्वे प्राप्तिश्चैद्यस्य विद्विषः. How did Shishupala attain liberation, attain Vasudeva? Like this, when even ordinary, good people who do tapas and sadhana for so many janmas, they don't attain him. Whereas this Shishupala, who only had hatred from childhood, he attains him. We do not understand how it's possible. Please tell about this. एतद्वेदितुमिच्छामः सर्व एव वयं मुनि भगवन्निन्दया वेनो. Remember we studied about Vena in Bhagavatam already in the 4th canto. How come Vena did not attain? How come Shishupala attained? These questions will come for us. How did Bhagavan bless Ambarisha this way? How did he bless, Kuchela that way? How did he bless Jadavardha? All these will come. These are all the characters in our life. As we go through our day to day, we think about these bhaktas. Like that, Yudhishthira is asking. Vena did not attain. Shishupala attained. Dandavaktra attained. How come? Edadveditumicchāmaha sarva eva vayam muni bhagavannindaya veno vijaihi tamasi patita tamagosha sutapapa आरभ्य कलपाषणात् सम्प्रत्यमर्षि गोविन्दे दन्दवक्त्रश्च दुर्मदिः तदे दुरवग्राहधामनि पश्यतां सर्वलोकानां लयमीयतुरञ्जसा एतद्भ्राम्यति मे बुद्धिः दीपार्चिरिव वायुना ब्रूह्ये तद् अद्भुतं भगवान् तत्र कारणं मे बुद्धिः दीपाचीरिव वायुना ब्रूह्येतत् अद्भुततमं भगवान् तत्र कारणम्. अगेन सम्प्रत्यम शपथोः असकृद् विष्णुं यद्ब्रह्म परमव्ययं श्वित्रो न जातो जिह्वायां नान्दं विविशतु स्तमः. Being on the Bhagavan, they have shapato. They are always cursing that Bhagavan, who is the master, who is the Lord, who is the most beloved of all. That Bhagavan, these Shishupala, Dandavaktra only cursed him. How did their tongue not, burn? How did they escape from hell after doing that? We do not understand. Yudhishthira is asking, and then so kathaṁ tasmin bhagavate duravagrahadhamani pasyatam sarvalokanam layamiyaturānjasa. On the other hand, when all are watching, these two merge into Bhagavan. How is it possible? We don't understand. This doubt is really puzzling for us. Etad brahmyati me buddhihi deepachiriva vayuna. Like a flame will be flickering in the wind. Like that, this does not gel well for us. We are not able to accept this. So, bruhetade adbhutatamam bhagavan tatra karanam. Please tell the reason for this. Yudhishthira started asking. So now we are going to enter into Prahlada's story after this only. So Sri Shuka is again saying, how did Narada answer? So one shloka I'll read. Rajastadvacha kanya Narado Bhagavan Rishi Tushta Prahatama Bhasha Shinvatyam Stat Sadak Kathaha. Narada Muni became very pleased with the question, and therefore is going to answer. We'll continue that next week. Gopika Jivana Smaranam Govinda Govinda Sadguru Maharaj ki Jai. Tamadbhudam balakam bhujikshanam chaturbhujam shankagadadyudayudam Srivatsalakshmam galashobhikaustubam Pitambaram sandrapayodastobhagam Maharhavaiduryagiridakundalam Trishaparishvaktasahasrakundalam Uddamakanchyangadakankanaadibihi Virochamanam Vasudeva Ikshada Kalimalaharanam Tvam Shrutva Kaivalya Sukhapradam Krishna Prema Nimagno Raja Krishna Padambujamapa Deva Jaya Jaya Bhagavata Jaya Jaya Bhagavata Deva Jaya Jaya Bhagavata Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Swarupa Jaya Jaya Bhagavata Deva Jaya Jaya Bhagavata बोलिए भागवत भगवान की जय भगवत महापुराण की जय महाराज की जय हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे